Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Iron Panther Presents. Today, we shall be discussing From on MGM Plus, Season 2, Episodes 2 and 3, right? 3 and 4.
No, 3 and 4.
3 and 4. With the episodes 3 and 4, what do we see? Who we know? Who has names? Damn it. Like, there's a lot of new characters, not a lot of names. But anyway, Kim, what did you think of this episode? Episodes.
I don't feel like I learned anything. I know I say that a lot, but I really did not. I didn't learn anything that pushed the narrative forward for me. It was a lot to me of more of people reinforcing what they already know, right? Like, I don't know.
Hold on. Okay, so to that point, names. So we got some reinforcement, right? So with Brian Kelly, right? So
right, we got that. Okay, well, yeah, that's true. We did learn that because that was the Marine that got blown up in Afghanistan or no, Iraq, right?
First trip to Iraq, yeah.
Yeah, so that was weird. Okay, I'll give you that one. What is that about? Because that was weird, right?
Yes.
And then we know that the fiance is there. That's weird.
Yes.
That Christie's fiance,
Marielle. We got a name, Marielle.
Yeah. And she's there, right?
Yes.
And then oh gosh, what else did we learn? I don't think we really.
Sarah's back.
Well, Sarah's back. She said that she ended up down in the basement of that house. When she went through the tree.
Yes.
Okay, but that doesn't push anything forward.
And Kenny learned that it was Sarah who caused the death of his father.
That's true. He did learn that at the very end of the episode 4.
Yes.
Okay.
And I thought,
all right, well, yeah, okay. So you got me. We learned certain things, but it didn't push those. It still didn't push what I want to know is where the hell they're at and why is this happening? That's what I want to know. Like, give me a spoonful of something.
Well, what you got, Jabani?
Have you guys ever seen the movie The Cell with, I gotta say, Jennifer Lopez?
Yeah.
The Cell, yeah.
So
that was like really pretty. The way that they did it looked like a Janet Jackson video
with her hair and everything. That thing.
Yeah.
So I surmise that that's what this is. Like, this is like The Cell and Severance put together. It's like basically when they say it's, they're putting so much emphasis on the whole dream thing, and it's like, yeah, you're put together in a collective dream, and there's somebody somewhere probably trying to extract information or something out of them. Maybe they're on the road traveling and these people get into accidents or something, and they're in medical induced in coma, and they're hooked up to something, and in this dream state or something, their brains are being accessed collectively, and they're in like some sort of collective simulated reality,
like virtual reality world.
Yeah, maybe. So like how in The Cell, Jennifer Lopez was able to go into Vincent, I forgot the guy's name, from into his brain, and
the serial killer's brain.
Yeah, so it's like, because the creators have said there is a mole there, so it's all about figuring out who the, so to say, mole is.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't know they said that. Okay, so there's a mole there
among the characters.
Correct. And right. I don't know if the mole has been there originally or is a part of the new group, but I would probably put it on Green Jacket Sweater, the new person who's like asking questions, trying to be in everybody's business all the time.
She's the old lady?
Yeah.
The old lady.
Tilly?
Yeah, the one that was dancing.
Yeah.
She
was. You know what? That is true, because she has this. I guess this last episode, the 4th one, she was asking everybody questions. Like, she tried to get Boyd to answer.
In episode 3, when she was in there, asking the father, I forget his name, asking him questions.
Jim.
Trying to talk to Chrissy's girlfriend as well.
That's true.
That could be. So to your point, so now we're kind of getting into maybe Jim's discussion with Tabitha, where he's like, this is all like maybe this is
that
all
annoyed the hell out of me, because I'm like, why the hell is this conversation continuously one-sided and she not saying anything about what happened to her and what she saw? Like, everybody, this is something where you like gather everybody up and say, let me tell you what happened, what I saw. This is important to everybody, not something you come back and say, well, this is something that I saw, when everybody was trying to rescue my husband. Let me tell you, this might be relevant season finale, however many weeks ago, I was down in the tunnel.
But that makes sense. Well, when Tabitha was talking to Jim and she said the wires aren't connected to anything, right? I think, and then basically they stopped talking about it, right?
She said that last season when she dug the hole. So we already knew that.
Yeah. So why didn't she tell him what happened with her and Victor and what she saw? She didn't tell anyone. She didn't tell the kids. Julie, Ethan, she didn't tell the Asian mom. I'm sorry, I don't remember her name, but the Asian mom, she didn't tell anybody, which was weird because that was some scary. One, it was scary as hell, right?
Talking about the twins she's seeing now, or
the
she's
twins,
seeing now, as opposed to something that really happened.
That she knows that she and Victor can say really happened and be like, and we know physically where these things come out of. At least some of them come out of. Let's see what we can do to stop them from coming out of them. And
you're seeing the children who are in white. Yeah, they're white, just like the boy in white, right? And you're seeing them during the day, which is the only time we see. Well, is one of the times we see the boy in white, right? He's mostly in the day, right? So are those little girls the same as that boy? You know what I mean?
Well, see, so the boy in white.
That was another thing we found out, that Boyd didn't see the boy in white, because I had thought that Boyd saw him. And
that's true. Only Sarah saw him and heard him.
Yeah.
And had to translate the message. But to that, then you get into Sarah. So when Sarah says that the voices are different, like I heard the boy in white, but they're not the same voices who told me to kill people, right? And I think Jim was the one that was like, he's trapped here too. Like maybe we're all trapped here together, and he wants to help, but he don't know how to help, and like that sort of thing. But Sarah,
on the radio.
Sarah said
one
that.
on the radio.
No. The boy in white. Sarah said that the boy. He was talking to Kenny. She was talking to Kenny. It should or Boyd. I can't remember. But she was like it was Boyd.
He was talking to Boyd. Yeah.
It was Boyd, and she's like, because we're talking about the voice, and she was like, again, he helps, but he's not saying the other, so maybe he's trapped here too with us, right? So, and we were kind of talking about that last season, like he's not, that. I think even maybe the creatures are maybe trapped there in probably in some form or fashion. But the collective dream sequence, Jamani, that could work. Like that could work. But then that doesn't explain the voice that Jim and Donna heard, right? So it wasn't just Jim losing his shit. Like that sounds like a control. So that kind of reminded me of Wayward Pines. Like once you find out that these people were like they were putting in these time capsules, whatever, brought to a future, and they were in a real city, but they couldn't leave, and it was all being controlled and everything.
Yeah.
And it's like that sort of thing. And they had creatures. They had creatures around them that was hunting and whatever, and they had a story to that. But it was they were encapsulated, but there was a distance. Like they once they figured it out, they could go that far. But it's like there's someone monitoring the whole situation.
Yeah, that's kind of the way it was in the cell. It was like they couldn't see everything, but I'm like, this is 20 however many years later. They probably can see into or simulate what's being done, because if it's a collective simulation, then you probably can see what the images are that's being broadcast between all the different minds. And I'm like, it has to be a dream, because all right, let me get to my negatives, right? Because there's no way that this has been the same day since episode 2 to the end of episode 4. We have not had night yet. This is the same day, right? How the hell have they gotten an entire house off of him be in the infirmary or medical building, then start walking? This has to be a dream. This does not make any sort of sense in any way. This is not even entertainment purposes. This is just, it's just all off camera. Like how?
It's a lot of off camera, bro. It's a lot of off camera.
But you can't just assume a whole house off camera and it's morning. It's like, because I'm like, the weird rest of the day, like this didn't take the entire day. This is just, we took care of this in an hour.
A couple hours. Yes. I hear you. My problem with the dream sequence is that they were doing things that went against the construct. Like whatever, like the guy said, you are making this place angry. And the boy in white said, you're making this place angry, and it attacked, like it punished them. Like it's hard for me to believe that you can dream your way out of a computer program. Like you have to physically be something to me to challenge your environment. And then
no, I'm saying if your brain is, if you're not conscious, right? You're in a coma. If they're putting you in a simulation like Severance, like how they're in this office and they're collectively, everything is collective.
But they're really that's not, they're really there. That's not simulated anything. They're physically there in that building, and they physically leave every day. It's just their brain doesn't register each situation. But
I'm saying like how their brain severs between the two, and like they can go away, come back, and it picks up from the same moment, something like that, and they all have this collective memories together and everything. I'm saying that's how, like, whatever they do to make that happen, that's what they're doing. So it's like if say for instance the person who's in Severance is in charge of it, is like, okay, we want to do something or access them to put parameters on their brain or do something. They can do that through like the control room in that show. They can do that through the same way here. Like you guys are two of you guys are going off too far. I'm going to put something in that's going to program to then stop you or prevent you from doing something. Like it was, Boyd got out too far. So then they put an image or what do you call it? Like not a hologram, but like
his wife.
Like he visualized or a simulation of Abby. So it was like, that was what brought him, gave him the comfort level for the spiders to then be able to attack him. And then it brought him back out of, he came out of the mist and came back. And then they detoured him to somewhere else. That's how the simulation is working. They can't go but a certain distance before they get something mentally for them.
I hear you, but it still means they're physically in a place. Like they're not dreaming. Like even if Severance, they're physically going to work. So I can go with you that they're being manipulated, but they were physically put into this town. Like they are actually physically there, and they just don't know that they were manipulated to stay there. But that's how Severance works. Like
so why do you say that it can't be a collective dream with minds connected, as opposed to like their brains in a lab or something, like their bodies in a lab, as opposed to they have to physically be there?
Because again, like you keep on using the Severance example. Like there are people who are moving around who don't even know what the other ones are doing, and they're introducing like new people to the environment. Right. So it easily could be that, again, somehow they got into their brains and they maybe put them on the bus or somehow, and they're putting them into this experiment. Like, I think Jim's idea that this is one big experiment has more, still, again, putting all that together, like Severance, like the experiment, it's all together, but it's still physically real. Like I can't go because you haven't seen glitches. That's what I'm saying. Usually in these kind of stories, you see some type of glitch, like something's there, but not really there.
That's why I'm saying like that. I think that the whole house thing, that's a glitch. Like it just, it just all this whole thing just happened. Like that is a big glitch. Like
that's just bad writing. I think that's just like I think you can't get over the time thing. I hear you, but like I just feel like they're like, we got to get this story moving. We're gonna get this house off this dude, and we're gonna keep it moving. Like
they did just an off-camera thing. That's what they did.
Yeah, it's just a lot of off-camera stuff because they got stuff to get through. I mean, to me.
But I'm saying they could split this up into like, why has it been the same day for just everything since the end of episode 2 to episode 4, maybe even into episode 5? Like, why has this consistently just been one long day?
I get so to Tyler Perry writing, for example, you'd be like, this whole month, this whole season has been one day. Like, you don't see night, you don't see sleep, and these characters are still going, but it's still real life. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it just, but again, nighttime introduces a new type of threat. So like, if there probably will be nights when they need to get back to the monsters and everything, like they do go to sleep, they do wake up, they do like start all over again, and no one's questioned time span. Like, if they're gonna go your route, at some point someone has to bring that up. Jade would bring it up. He's more of a concrete person. Like, he's a scientist. Jim would bring it up. Like, those two would be the characters to see the problem that you're saying.
And see, Jade, when Jade was talking to the bus driver in the bar, when she was telling him that she should have listened to Elgin when he told her to stop, he said, well, did he tell you to stop before you saw the tree in the road or after you saw the tree in the road? Because Jay was trying to figure that out. Like, what does that mean, right? It didn't come out to be anything that we know right now.
Yeah, I'm saying maybe,
but it was interesting conversation.
I'm saying that could be a glitch that Elgin saw whatever he saw. Like, that seems like whatever he saw is gonna happen later on in the future. As far as with the lake, like, I don't know if it's gonna be bodies in the lake or something like that, but whatever he saw, I think that was a glitch as he entered into the wherever they're at.
So again, but he, like he said, once you see the tree, you're already in trouble. So like, maybe that's part of the program. Like once you get put into this thing, you see the tree, now you're off into the project that they're putting these people in. Like, you weren't never going to get out once you saw the tree. And that would explain why you got different people from all across America, and they all seem to be from the same place, because they're being picked and selected for this program. Like, and they're being put into it, whether it's physical or virtual, but that would explain those two things. Like, these are real people in real situations. That's how the fiance showed up. She's like, it's been a couple of months, and all of a sudden now she's here. Like, there's a intelligent design to this thing. Like, it's not all coincidence. Like, you know, even to that point. So like, even
just like with the Brian thing, the Brian Kelly thing, that's not coincidence. That's planned. Someone did that on purpose.
Yeah. And so it's all, and the whole thing with Abby, like with the guy, like, you think Abby, right? That was all a dream, but you keep on bringing up the dream sequence, and that seems to be a common like theme. You know, is it a dream? Maybe she was dreaming. Maybe she was right. We just need to wake up. You know what I'm saying? Like, that also seems to be a part of the construct. So it give me some dream stuff involved.
And I'm like, he doesn't see Abby, but he goes and talks to Abby, you know, at her grave. But yet, Pastor Kadri, he's able to actually see and talk to him.
That was a vivid illusion. Yeah. That was weird. That was the first time I ever saw him, other than Abby, see someone that is dead and talk to them. That was
all right. So that
was a change from because he had never had that. And then also too, what is going on with the worms in his blood? Like he was weak. So what is that thing doing? What is that blood doing to him?
I surmise that that's why we haven't seen Night yet, because I think we're gonna find out when it's night, but they're trying to hold off.
Yeah.
Oh, so maybe he's one of those things, maybe.
Well, he should be asleep right now. And I mean, one, he's too important to the show. He is the show, so they can't have him like turn into a creature.
He's not gonna necessarily turn into that type of creature, but something is going to happen to him, because with the opening scene of the season is it becoming night, him ringing the bell, and he's seeing the worms, moving in his arm, and he drops the bell, and then it just goes to the theme song. So it's whenever night comes, something is going to start to happen with him.
Yeah.
Mm.
Shit. So did the worms cure his Parkinson's? Because he said I stopped shaking, but then like now I got another problem. So are we gonna? And is that a real thing, or is that just coincidence?
Did it cure it or did it advance it? Because he's saying, she said, hallucinating is something that's at a more advanced stage than what you had. Are you hallucinating? He said no, but he is hallucinating.
But it could be the worm, because the other guy was talking about the creatures coming for him and all that kind of stuff. So it could be the worm showing him these things, just like the guy that was locked up. I mean, so it all can be connected. Is that music box gonna come back? Because apparently somehow that music box was connected to whatever was holding that guy to the wall. And speaking of people not telling anybody anything, Boyd still has not told anyone what happened to him. Everybody keeps on asking the same question.
He tell Sarah. That's the one person he needs to tell. Like, I understand he can't tell Kenny, especially after the end of the episode. He couldn't tell anybody really, which I think is crazy. People don't believe people about stuff knowing what this place is. Like, this is the place where you can tell anybody anything and they should just automatically believe you.
Yes. Be like, yes, that must have happened. Well, I mean, to your point, he should be telling Sarah, because both of them have seen some wild shit. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, and together. So Sarah should be his only confidant to be like, what does this mean to us? I just want them to set fire to that fallen, faraway tree. None else gets. Oh, so nothing else gets in. Oh, maybe they can get out. If they all need to get some good axes to cut up that tree. If they can even go back to that point, it seemed like when Jim and family came into the circle and we were following them, they get on this loop. Like they don't even see the tree again. It's like they just get kept on this road and the road keeps on coming around circles. So it's almost like they can't even get back to the point where they saw the tree.
Yeah,
it seems like. And again, that's what happened with Wayward Pines. Like it's eventually they just got on this loop. Like, and it's like they tried to get out of the city, out of Wayward Pines, but then they came back out the other end. They're like, oh shit, like I can't leave.
Yeah.
And then when you look at the image behind me, like it kind of reminded me of Wayward Pines, because it's a certain area, right? Like entrapped by trees and shit. And I'm like, I've seen this before.
And then also too, like when Boyd was in the chimney or whatever it was, or the lighthouse, whatever he was in, and he actually got out. When he got out, he saw that it was ruins. It wasn't even really a building anymore, right? Yeah. So that what does that mean? And then when Sarah said she went in the tree behind him and she ended up in the basement of one of the houses. So this tree only allows them to travel in time within that area.
So that's what Victor was explaining.
Yeah, he was like a faraway tree. You never know where you're gonna end up.
Like, but you always end up somewhere in that town, though.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
No one's left the town, like because he said sometimes it can just drop from the sky. Cause I think he dropped a ball or some shit, and then like the ball fell behind him. It could just hit him in the top of the head. So like, what's up, Jamai?
I'm like, to even what you're saying, like when he was explaining it, he was like, I think the thing was like, the guy with the boulder. It was like you can end up being smushed in between, like. It's not like you're going to end up in a safe place. You can end up trapped in between something.
Yeah. So it's you just never know where you're going to end up. But for me, what I'm trying to figure out is why do you only end up in the town?
I think that's just the way that it
that is set up.
It's just a teleportation to within that area. It's like
and that's why I think
outside of it.
That's why I think that it may be some type of experiment.
Yeah.
That they're observing these people to see how they react. Like, how do they deal with this?
Yeah.
Because I mean, like, kind of like if it was a zombie apocalypse or something, right? they're testing to see how the average person would survive or whatever, or something like that. It could be something like that. But then I'm thinking that doesn't make any sense unless they're trying to bring an emotional part to this too, like showing Abby, and then he was really good friends with the priest. And then, you know what I mean? Like trying to get all the emotions out of these different
out
people.
of their test subjects. To be
Yes,
like
out of the test subjects, yeah.
And that I mean that could be it. But Kelly, the lady with the rod through her head.
Oh, that was terrible.
That was terrible. We spent a lot of time with her. I see that. I was a little irritated because I was like, what happened? Why nobody doesn't give a fuck about Tom, the bartender, season 1 character? And like no one cared. Like he got murdered right outside the house. No one cared. Next episode, he don't get buried. They don't mention his name. Jade,
well, they said we need a new bartender.
That was Jade. I mean, that was Jade was just being like, making a passing comment. Like I was like, we need to do better with recognizing these characters, buddy. Like I would have preferred that they were trying to bury Tom because they knew Tom, and then they ran into
we didn't
Kelly.
see the house so we don't know about any of that.
Well,
that's off camera.
I guess it's off camera too. But I'm like, if they were gonna go in we went into the woods to fix the traps, which I'm not sure why that had to be done right now, and to pick some flowers. Why did that have to be done right now? How about you bury one of your friends? Like that would be a reason to be out in the woods, and you go, oh shit, like it's a one with the rod in her head, and then we go through her story. We just spend a lot of time on Kelly, and I'm like, we got real characters that we kind of knew that, you know, that not here anymore. And I'm just like, we need to care.
But
like,
I think we spent time with Kelly for a reason. The reason I don't know. That's the thing. I don't understand. You know what I mean? Like I feel like there's something behind it. But because when Boyd said, who did this? Right? I think it was Boyd. And it wasn't normal for the creatures to put like a stake through someone's head and have them attached to a tree. They would normally eat them, destroy them.
The issue was that Boyd was gone, right? And he came back that morning, and they found her. It wasn't until she's been there. She says, "I'm fine. I don't feel anything." As soon as Boyd was in the vicinity, she starts screaming, and it brought him to her.
Yeah, all right, yeah.
So that was the issue of why it seemed significant, because it was like he would have never even known that this was going on, and they were contemplating on how they were going to do it, and if they had done it without, they would have done it and not included him or had any, even known he was back. It was except for his son, but it was the matter of he was the one who was there being brought in by her screams, and he pulled it out, and then figuring out that the whole name thing.
So
but what is the significance of that? That's what I'm saying.
He's thinking about the whole conversation about, was Abby right about it being all a dream, and him thinking that this might be something like somebody playing some sort of manipulation or games on what he knows or information he has, because there's no way that this could make as much sense outside of himself.
And it's just a huge coincidence to be like, again, so like with so when Christie's fiance coming, like a bus with so many, at least one character kind of ties this thing all together. Now you have two connections to people who are already there. They put that rod in her spot so she would be alive. Alive, and the town people could be traumatized. Well, she was out there deep into the woods, so you would have to run across her, for that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then, like she said, the creatures wanted her to watch, which again, it's unusual. Like all of that is unusual because they didn't do that. Also, numbers, real quick. Donna said,
that was a big issue because that didn't add up. It did not add up.
She said 25 people showed up. Basically, 3 people died. And I was like, no, like 6 people died. Like we counted in our last video. So I was like, you missed.
They said the 2 bodies that we have out here, right? And that makes it 23, right? So the 2 bodies are the 2 bodies that were outside that got killed that like
The two people.
Tima saw being killed, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like you still have the body of the guy who was actually in the house. That makes it a third, right? Then you have the other two, which are the Kelly. What was the first guy's name?
Well, Brian got killed.
Yeah,
Kelly wasn't found. So Brian got killed. The old couple on the bus got killed, and then the couple
That's
outside.
two people.
So 5 people died from the bus. 5 people died from the bus, and Kelly died this episode. So she wasn't dead yet. So there were
but they didn't know that Brian or Kelly were just missing. So they were just going off the bodies that they were seeing. So I'm just saying
that should have been 4. There should have been 4 bodies that they found.
Yeah,
because Tom is one of them, so they wouldn't have counted that body. We're talking about bus people. Tom, the other guy died of the wounds. You're talking about the guy inside the house.
Yeah, but I'm saying a body nonetheless. They said 25 people that showed up on the bus. So I'm saying that guy who died in the house.
Yeah.
You got the 2 people outside and the 2 people on the bus. That's 5 people.
Yeah, you're right. And then Kelly makes 6.
No, Kelly and Brian make 6 because we've never found Brian. That was all off camera.
Oh yeah, that's another thing too. They didn't show Brian ripped apart.
Yeah.
That's weird, right?
Yeah. His body should have been right next to her.
Or somewhere in the vicinity, right?
Very close in the vicinity. Like they should have followed that. So
yeah,
we're still counting up bodies. I don't know what's going on with that. Again, Tom got no love. What was up with the violin? Like I didn't know Victor was gonna get all freaked out about the violin thing right here.
Was
like,
that his mom's? Maybe.
I guess that's the only thing I could think of. But he was more angry at Ethan than he was at Jade. And I was like,
that was funny because you really saw his child side. He was like, well, I told him not to. He's like, well, you should have did it louder. I was like, what? You fight Jay, you don't get mad at a little boy. That little boy was just trying to be your friend, and now he's like he mad.
That was so sad. I felt so bad. Okay, all right, this is gonna sound really bad, but I need them to break that stick that he's holding into. The stick that Ethan is walking around with is not doing anything.
One, he's taller. He outgrew the stick.
Yes. I'm like, look.
Stop it.
Come on.
Stop it.
Stop it with the stick.
Look here, Yaz. Be wrong. Act your age. I'm tired of this shit. Act your age, damn it.
He's walking with you know what I'm saying? Like he's tapping the stick. He's not using it for support. He's just tapping it on the ground and walking regular.
This is some Tiny Tim shit.
Yeah.
Yes.
We saw Scrooge. We saw Scrooge. Also, so Jim, when she said, hey, the lights weren't connected to anything, and then he got up and tried to look at the exit sign.
Yes.
Right. He's trying to be like, well, how is this thing lit up? Like, he was trying to investigate that, right?
Yeah.
I was like, so he felt betrayed by Ethan. Jade was never his friend. I hear you, but he went. I just felt like it was a bit much. Like he had
but remember, Victor is a child, right? Yeah. And Victor's mind is a child's mind, right?
Yeah.
We just know he's old as hell, but he does have a child's mind. And like they said, yep, it's me. It's like your best friend betrayed you, right? Your close friend, you know, don't let the parents in, don't let the adults in. This is, our world, that kind of thing, right?
All right.
I shared with you. And so that's why he was so upset. And that's why he talked to him that way.
Fatima asking the daughter to be a bridesmaid, I thought was hilarious. Because remember, the daughter tried to get with her last season, and I was like, did you forget that? This girl was like, maybe I like girls, maybe I don't know. And she was like, she always had a mental breakdown when she said, I'm good. But I thought that was hilarious.
Because she was testing the waters.
Really time on this show. That was 2 days ago.
Yeah, that. The way time works, that was too. Hey, girl, I know you tried to make out with me. We're supposed to be a threesome, I guess, but will you be one of my bridesmaids? I'm like, are we still in the open relationship thing? Like, I don't know. I'm just asking, like, what the options are.
Because as far as
like, I got a sister wife. I don't know.
Because I'm saying the same issue with time. Boyd is like, I found out, the day before I left. You left 2 days ago. You only spent one night in the what do you call it? In the You
the
know,
tree,
in the
in the
tent,
wilderness,
in the tent, and then it was 2 days ago.
It's like I didn't know, bro. I didn't know. I really thought to Kenny's situation. I really thought that Boyd was gonna come back and Kenny was just gonna be covered in blood because like he just like beat Sarah to death.
That's
like,
what I thought. I thought that Kenny was going to kill Sarah.
I was like, so let's just get this over with.
Okay, so now I can say, I think when you see the whole thing with it becoming night and why they're prolonging it so much is probably because she's gonna go in the box, right? But as I said, Boyd is not going to become an exact form of the creature, as we saw, like his vision diminishes, but he has some sort of immunity to the creatures that are there, the monsters. So maybe he might be able to ward off the monsters in the night or something so that she survives. Because the whole issue is we'll put you in the box knowing that you're not going to survive. But if she survives, it's going to be sort of like Daniel in the Lion's Den where, well, we kind of got to let you go. So if she can survive to the morning, she might be able to stick around because people will then believe what Boyd is saying about she has some sort of connection.
I can see that going that kind of route. I think maybe if she wasn't so important to the whole we could get out of here thing, Kenny would have murdered her. Like if this was like Walking Dead or something, like Kenny character would have murdered Sarah, and that would have been like, hey, I told you this shit was gonna happen. Or I was actually worried that I think Kenny's too important, but I actually thought maybe Boyd will kill Kenny to protect Sarah because he's like Sarah can get us out of here, and I thought maybe that they're gonna have one of those kind of showdowns. And I was like, ugh. Because they showed you, unlike Yellow Jackets, like this show shows you flashbacks that are relevant. Like this episode, they're like, we're gonna start off with how Daddy got to the old folks' home. You know what I'm saying? And how Kenny was there and he didn't want to do it, but it
didn't even. Yeah, it's well, I guess it didn't show how Kenny got there, but it showed how the father ended up in the place where he was killed at.
That's what I mean. Like how they brought him there. Like how Kenny get to the point it was like, hey Dad, we got to put you here. It's gonna be okay. And I was like, why are they showing that? And it's like because like Sarah's back and he's about to find out that Sarah's the reason why his dad got killed. Because at the end of the episode, he's standing in that moment in that spot, looking at his dad's blood, and he's like, yeah, this bitch got to go.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's what I thought immediately when I saw it at the end of episode 3 was. She killed his father. I just didn't put 2 and 2 together that he hadn't put 2 and 2 together yet to know that she was responsible.
Yeah. Well, I don't think anybody knew. I didn't realize. I didn't realize that they kind of blamed the dad anyway. Like I didn't realize that was that he just assumed that the dad was the one to open the door. If she survives the box, she has to be the human/creature ambassador. Hilarious. I was like, maybe that's her role. Maybe she does somehow talk to the creature. So it's not Boyd who goes out there and saves her. Maybe somehow she saves herself and she can talk to them. And they're like, oh shit, she's legit. Like maybe that's the thing. This show is not moving. I just can't. I hear you, Miss Sharon. I hear you. I still feel like, again, I guess only compared to Yellow Jackets, they make some effort to give you something to hold on to feel like, oh, we got a piece of information that makes you want to figure out what's the next piece of information. But names. Who is this white dude who's causing all these problems, and why has he's not just been murdered? Like he needs to be put in the box so he can just figure out that this ain't where he thinks it is. Like he's really getting on my nerves.
But
he's gonna take down that talisman.
But he's necessary. He's necessary because if this is an experiment, you're gonna have people like him that are gonna act this way.
Antagonists.
Yes, you have to have people like him. It can't all be just smooth sailing and everybody's kumbaya.
Like Jade came in, he wrecked stuff, like he didn't want to listen, like he caused problems, but then eventually he became helpful.
Right.
He had a name. Mm-hmm. What is this white dude's name? I'm looking,
I don't know. They never say his name.
I'm like, at least Meryl asked who Tabitha asked her. Tabitha walks into the medical bay or whatever and looks and says, who are you? Exactly. Get a name so you know who you're talking to.
But I think there's a reason why they're holding his name back. It's
All
gotta be his name somehow has to one it the way, just like the same way that Kelly and Brian, the Brian Kelly was to Boyd, that guy's name must be attached to one of them.
All right.
In some kind of way. And that's why they're holding it back.
All right. Mm-hmm. Also, what's the new guy's name? The black dude?
Elgin.
I think it's clear. I think it's clear he hasn't been there before. Like I think people were speculating that maybe he's been there before. Like he's not, because he's asking questions like, "What is this?" and "What about that?" I think he had general visions of some bad stuff happening, but he didn't know where he was going. And now he's like, "Do we know where we're at?" And like I said, if he could draw the way Victor did, then we can compare and contrast his premonitions to what actually happens.
And I also think that Elgin on the bus, I think he was dreaming. I think he was asleep on the bus and he was dreaming. And when he woke up, in the dream, he probably saw this place. He saw everything that was about to happen. And that's why he was like, no, don't go this way. Turn the bus around. Stop. Because he knew it was going to happen.
But like I said,
because of a dream.
But like I said, he already saw the tree, as Jay pointed out. So it was like,
no. I'm saying the bus driver saw the tree, right? So I'm like, everybody's conscious, right? They're conscious in normal life, right? Yeah. And they enter in and don't know that they've entered in, and they're conscious the whole entire time, right? But if Elgin was asleep, right, and they enter in, right, he doesn't have that continuity that they have to not break that. So his dream turns into the place, and it's like he's seeing everything all at once, so to say, right? So it's like he's not breaking in smoothly as everybody else did. He got it all abruptly. So he has the visualization that made him freak out.
Okay, so as they're entering the project, like he gets the full program of what they're going through.
Correct.
Okay.
Like he's not smoothly put in because he's not conscious already. He's already in a dream state. So it's just rapidly hitting him because it's like, you can't just be dreaming and then you're just driving down the road and tree. It's just like, boom, he just breaks in like as if you put on virtual reality goggles and the game is already in motion. It's just like, yeah.
So I feel, again, I like your Severance analogy. I think if this is not real, like, you know, like if this is not like supernatural, this is actually something actually happening, you know, to these people. Like I like the Severance idea. And then we just slowly see how they got instituted into this program. Again, like Wayward Pines, like you didn't know how they did, but eventually they explained, you know, how they all got there. But they all too was like, what am I doing here? And you know, and they're just trying to figure it out. But
I'm like, I've heard other people speculating about the food. Like, are they being poisoned, like hallucinogenics and stuff? Because the food just shows up. Is there some? Is this something being put into the food so that people aren't just like wildly just trying to go to the parameters of where they're on. They're just, you know, mildly content. Like everybody tends to just calm down and be more subdued and, you know, go with the program. Like, there's something in the food for them to see the stuff at night and everything like that.
Well, to that's not necessarily true, because remember, Donna was like, their original process was let people drive around until they lose hope, basically, and then we will come talk to them. Like, you know, like, and even Boyd, the way he found the talisman was that he kept on going out trying to go further and further, but there's only so much daylight, so he's like, I gotta come back, right? So like, so there's something to just be, you realize where you're at, and it's like, you know, like prison, like you confine yourself because you're stuck there for so long, you feel like that's all you know.
Yeah, I'm saying that the food being put there is what does that, because they don't have to go out and forage for food. The food is just there, and you can put something in the food that they're getting. And the people are saying that
animals do show up. That's not true. Like they were showing, like, that's why they had the traps out there. Like animals randomly show up, but they do show up. Like, and I don't know how they get the peaches and that kind of shit.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying the Peaches, we saw the Peaches truck. Like a truck had come in with Peaches, and that's what he's been eating the peaches from. And they're saying that maybe that's why Victor is more of the way that Victor has been, because he's just been continuously eating the peaches that weren't a part of the land, that weren't, that aren't an animal or something like that. He's been eating stuff that came from outside.
Yeah, that's possible. We're stuck with a lot of possibilities, man. We're stuck with a lot of possibilities and not a lot of answers. And I don't know. Right? Oh, you were saying.
I said, sorry. That was my whole point. That we are stuck with a lot of questions and not very many answers, and so that's annoying because I want more. Because like even the little tidbits that we discussed in the beginning. How does it push the narrative? It doesn't really.
It doesn't. Like the book that Jade has right behind me.
Yes.
The symbols mean something to like. Where is that going? You know what I'm saying? Like, is that really going to get them from point A to point B?
And can we know what these symbols are? Because there's a lot of recappers who actually they stop the video and they look at the symbols. And it's Greek mythologism, it's Jewish. I mean, it's all types of different things put into making these symbols, right? But why is it keeping them away? Like, there's no, you know what I mean? Like,
there's no rhyme or reason. There's no rhyme or reason why these talisman is working and not working, and it has to be hung up and that kind of stuff. And is it going to work on the bus? Like, that guy is actually pretty set up because he's all by himself. If he wants privacy and he wants his own place, the bus is actually not a bad thing. I mean,
that could be a whole house. I mean, people actually make houses into buses. Like I saw it on YouTube, right? So he could like renovate the whole damn thing if he really wanted to. You know what I mean?
Like, you don't need people. Like, why am I sharing a place? Why am I sharing a place when people go through my shit when I can just have my own place?
Exactly. But people like that are in a society that they're living in, they don't survive. The reason why is because they're for self, right? So it's about me and my needs. I don't want people touching my stuff. I don't want people eating my stuff. I don't want people looking at me, that kind of thing. It's all about me, right? But in that society that they're in right now, they can't have a person like this. It's
not good for the collective.
It's not sustainable.
But and again, I like Donna finally got fed up. I want to give him Talisman nothing. I would have been like, you living outside, like Boyd did. You keep your gun, go hang out in the woods and see how that works out for you.
Yeah. But to teach him a lesson, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they could rescue him later on. Like, like if they hear him scream, they might rescue him, right? Maybe. Not.
Because we don't have enough supplies anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And we warned you, you're a grown man, we'll see you around. Or
exactly.
Because I ain't got time for this. I just met you. Tom is dead. Nobody cares.
I think he's gonna. What I was saying about Boyd and Sarah, I think Boyd is gonna slip her a talisman from somewhere. They're saying that they've kept track of all of these talismans, but Boyd is the one who found them. He might have a secret one,
an extra one. Yeah.
I'm like, he might give up his own or something. Like I think there's gonna be a talisman in there with her if he doesn't stick his own neck out on the line to try to protect her.
I think as Kenny pointed out, this is going to hurt his credibility, like as the leader, as a group leader, and like it's going to be hard for him to trust him after that. Like that's like so. That's I was like, this
especially Donna.
Yeah,
especially Donna.
Yeah, so I'm like, and then Kenny, like I said, Kenny dropped off. Like I don't see unnamed white dude like replacing Kenny.
But as far as Donna goes, because what Donna said at the end of episode 3 was, she's not built for that. So she's the opposite. She's like the opposition to what Boyd stands for. She does not want to in any way take on Boyd's job or responsibility. She just wants to be the alternative to whatever he's doing. So I don't think that
and she's tired of it though. But she said that she's tired of the place. She's tired of everything, right? Yeah. So she doesn't want to take over what Boyd is doing, but she's also like tired of having to wrangle people in and make them listen and do what she doesn't want to do that anymore. She's sick of it.
because that gets on your nerves. Like again, Jade, at least what we saw, Jade was like that. This new dude's like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's hard.
It's frustrating. I mean, remember the bus driver was like completely would not listen. Like,
oh, that's
would
right.
not listen
Bus driver too. Yeah.
I'm like, I think they said people come like sparingly. All of these people have been like stacked up in a short amount of time. And that's what the draining part is that these last people that have come in has just been back to back to back. It's not months and stuff in between like it has been before.
And there's resources. There's resources in space. Like, I mean, how do you house all these people? Everybody can fit in Colony House. You know,
a house just went down entirely, and now there's
also true
in the middle of the town.
Yeah. So
out the tires, so that bus ain't moving anywhere.
I was surprised how she was able to move that bus.
Huh?
That's why she was able to drive that bus anyway and back it up. I was like, what? But anyway, all right. That is the video. I gotta get the.
Oh wait, and they showed a cell phone. Yay!
That's true. And it received the signal though. It started talking. Like, was that an alarm? Was that a phone call? So like,
that was an alarm.
That was an alarm.
All right. Because I was like, they should. But to your point, none of them made an effort to call. Like, we keep on bringing that up. As soon as no one said, "Oh my God, let me call somebody." And
why was it only that one person who pulled out their cell phone? That bus, that as the world we live in now, there are 6-year-olds who have cell phones.
Yeah.
So everyone has a cell phone. Nobody has said anything about a cell phone out of these new people.
Yeah.
Not one person.
Yeah.
Except for Kelly. Well, Kelly.
Except for Kelly. That's what I'm saying. Except for Kelly.
Again, that alarm did it. She didn't touch it, obviously. You know, like
I'm saying she said she wanted to call her mother or whatever.
Oh, and they
would not let her even attempt. Like they're with the whole, let them drive around in a circle and find out for themselves. No, it won't work. Like I'm like,
that's a good point. Just let her try. I mean, she dying anyway. I mean, it was hard. It was hard to watch. But at least I guess at least we got the name association thing out of it.
And I'm like, at least with the electricity issue, I'm like, I could understand if your phone dies and it's like, well, my phone is useless after that, right? But if you have electricity, you can charge it and you can still be doing other things with it that don't have service necessarily associated with it. And that's an issue. Like, people come with their cell phones, can charge them because there's electricity, but don't use it for anything else.
Taking pictures, playing games,
or an alarm or alarms
alarm
wake up
clocks.
In the morning. Nothing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That doesn't make any sense. Nobody has said anything about a cell phone.
Also
or
true.
even the men who, like, one is an engineer and then Jade, right?
Yeah, Jim and Jade.
Jim and Jade, yeah. They haven't said anything about, well, maybe we can get a signal off the cell phone. You know what I mean?
I'm like, they're breaking down all these other parts. Why? Hey, give me a cell phone. Give me a cell phone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nobody has done that. Nobody,
Boyd is going out in the wilderness. Hey, I need a cell phone for, a compass or something, some sort of.
At least know what time it is.
Yeah.
Know what time it is. Like, I mean, so that's true. That's true.
Well, people have watches for time, so.
Oh, my bad. No, I was like, I'll take a phone.
And I know because because that's the era we live in now, right?
Like, yeah, right.
People forgot we just used to have phones, not just Fitbits, right? For you to exercise with. It's a watch.
It only does time.
But I'm like, only a certain generation, like nowadays, like it's not just a nowadays thing. It's the people of nowadays. So if they're going into this town that way, they wouldn't have a regular watch because most people don't have regular watches.
Right, exactly. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
It's where's the technology? Where's the laptop? Somebody would have brought a business person.
Absolutely. Somebody would have had a pad.
Something.
Somebody has a whole bunch of Apple products.
Something.
I mean, come on now.
We all got Macs, and I'm saying, I'm like where's and maybe it's just product placement. There's certain things they just can't put in the show.
Well, that's true. So, but you can say it, but you don't have to show it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Before you go, we did find out something as well. They were going to a casino, right? We did find that out.
Okay.
And as far as we call it, like the bus says runner or something. So it's like one of those buses like you take maybe across the state or across a city or something like that, I could see, if you're on one end of a state or something and the casino's on the other, we're taking the bus chartered straight there and straight back or something like that, or a church group or something like that. But I still don't know about this whole security guard outfit that you guys were talking about in the previous episodes. Like, why would you be wearing that to go to a casino? Or like, what?
Well, that he could be working. He could be working security in the casino.
Yeah, perhaps.
Or he could have been on his way to work.
Okay. Or he's got off work and he just wants to, and he doesn't change scope or something.
Could be that too.
I mean, it could be that.
So what exactly is? Well, they were going to the casino, not coming from. So if they're going to, what is I guess you'd say, like, the common denominator of the people going to the casino? Like, what is the reason or purpose, like the story behind these people going? Are some of them in a group together? Like, everybody can't be isolated individuals just going to the casino. It seems like there's only the old couple that died in the
bus.
Brian and Kelly were the only two couples that were there. Like, everybody else is just, I don't know anybody.
But on a bus, you're gonna have that though. Like you don't know people. When you get on a bus, you don't know these people.
No, I'm saying a city bus, I understand, but I'm saying it's typically like one of those charter buses is more of a group event, like going to the movie.
Well, they would go into the casino, right? So
that's why I'm saying I would expect it to be more pairs or more groups than just single individuals. Right. It'd be like, you say something happened at a movie theater and it's majority of the people in the theater showed up alone. That seems kind of odd. That's like a group kind of event.
Yeah. If they got charter bus, I don't know, but we still got to go, man. I got to get to Ruthless with Stacy.
Stacy gonna get you.
I know to time. So all right, guys, that is the video. Thank you guys very much for watching us this week. We'll be back next week for the more from and see where this is going. So just comment and like and that kind of stuff, and I will see you.